sneaky little I see it in your face. What? I want your baby to say that, you piece of shit. Why don't you fix your hair?
Just leave. The coach. I'm protecting my players. Get off my school property right now.
Why do men ruin everything? Like, can't have a peaceful Saturday. He's over here screaming his lyrics like ain't no need to do that. Come on now. Stop.
Why do men ruin everything? You need to be working out.
All these conversations regarding how to talk a man through it, and it's what you say to him, talk him through it, and you're still the lowest paid group in the world. I am so sick of seeing Black women at the forefront of hyper conversations, but you're still the lowest paid group in the world. The babies are struggling and the babies are suffering. They're saying out of all the groups in the world, Black babies are in the classrooms not knowing how to read or write because mama is too busy on TikTok giving tips and tricks on how to talk a man through it, but can't talk a man into marrying her. Can't talk her man into investing in her business. Can't even talk herself into investing in her own self, her own personal and professional development, and can't even talk herself into taking care of and providing for her children. You have all the tips and the tricks on how to please a man in the bedroom, but that man that you're pleasing in the bedroom can't even please you financially and can't even please you at an altar to marry you. Can't even please you to take care of the kids that he gave to you. Can't even please you long enough to stay with you and actually commit to you. Can't please you and motivate you to go out there and make more money as a woman in a patriarchal world and society. The average income for Black households is below 60K. So until we can figure out a way on how we can create more cash in these households and revenue build, I don't want to see any more videos from Black women talking about how to talk a man through it when you can't even talk a man to secure the household and bring more cash in.
So I thought these women, they wasn't going to be on board with this, but there's a few of them. Somebody said, talk to him, sis. Another woman said, they going to skip this one. Another woman said, like, talk yourself into a high paying job. Another one said, right, like, talk yourself through an interview. How about that? Accountability.
Women go into relationships treating relationships like a business transaction where everything is transactional, whereas the men go into relationships to find wives, partnerships, and to love somebody unconditionally. You cannot convince me for even a second that men don't love more purely. Let me explain. Women come into a lot of relationships having absolutely nothing. They have $20,000 in credit card debt. They have nothing to offer. They have no ambitions. They don't know what they're doing with their lives. And these men will come in and love them unconditionally for the exact way that they are. Women will do the fake hair, the lashes, the extensions. Meanwhile, he loves her for sweatpants and a messy bun with no makeup on. He will accept her for exactly who she is. Men will also accept all of her psychotic and mental health issues and all of her hormonal changes and all of her body changes. He will accept all of her irrational behavior when she's checking his phone in the middle of the night, or she's insecure, or she's freaking out for no reason. Men will literally tolerate so much disrespect and be dragged over and over and over again for the women that they love. They will love these women through and through, even when these women show them exactly who they are, which is toxic, irrational, have nothing to offer. These men will get dragged and continuously get dragged for women that they love. Whereas for women, he's got to make six figures. He's got to have a six pack. He's got to look good. He's got to be emotionally in tune. He's still got to make time for dates and plan all of the, vacations. And he's got to be in tune with her. He's got to know every single day what's going on and how can he be there for her and text back fast enough. These men still won't leave because no matter what these women do to them, they love them purely, unconditionally. It doesn't matter how much money she makes. It doesn't matter how tall she is or how skinny she is or how much makeup she has on or how much she doesn't have on. There are no conditions when a man falls in love. He wants that woman for exactly who she is. And you see this time and time again, even when women want to change jobs, change their career. Maybe they were a stay-at-home mom and now they want to go back to school. He supports her through and through, even down to like an Etsy shop if he's, promoting and helping her hobbies or a side hustle. Even if that means he has to get a second job to support her goals and her dreams. But when was the last time you saw a woman support a man in his dreams? When have you seen women say that they will build their men up? We see all day long on this app about women not having to build with a man. And women, on the other hand, have a laundry list of expectations and standards, and the goalpost is constantly changing because even when he meets those standards and those expectations, she still isn't happy. Even down to her getting the ick because he's ordering his Starbucks drink a certain way or he's wearing sandals in the middle of winter. The list goes on and on for the little things that women get icks about. These good men will meet these requirements over and over and over again, and it's still never going to satisfy her. Why? Because she did not fall in love with him for him. She fell in love with what he can do for her and the conditions that she has put upon him and in this relationship. These women use these men to fill an unfillable void of unhappiness, loneliness, and comparison to other women. And that's why so many times the goalpost changes, because these men will meet every condition and every expectation along the way, but she is just a miserable person expecting him to fulfill something that is unfulfillable. That is why you hear so many times that only women and children are loved unconditionally, and it's true because men are only loved based on what they can provide and what they can give, and women go into relationships treating it like a business and not even looking at him as a partner, but basically like she's the boss of him and he has to do everything that she says. That's why so many women are so controlling, and that's why you hear so many women leave men after they lose their job or they show any type of emotion. Maybe their mother died and he's crying at a funeral and now she's suddenly gotten the ick. They expect these men to continuously be in tune with their emotions and change every single time the goalpost changes. But the crazy part about it is 9 times out of 10 women don't even understand their own emotions. That's why half the time when he asks what's wrong, or you ask your wife what's wrong, she can't tell you because she doesn't even know what's wrong. She just feels off or something's wrong. And these men with flying colors basically have to guess as they go, and they do it exponentially well. And a lot of women resent them for the way that men can attune to their women and be there for them with the ever-changing goalpost and being at the mercy of her emotions because she can't even understand or fathom that he is a person with emotions. This is a lot of the reason why so many women assume that if they get a date with a man, it's transactional because he wants intercourse with her or he wants some kind of thing in return. And it's because women operate with the expectation that they're getting something in return. It is a business, not a relationship. And it's just not the same for men because men love more purely, more unconditionally. This is why they don't leave their women when things get tough or they think that they can work through it. They go through it through and through. They don't need to treat their women like a business transaction, and you can't convince me otherwise. Okay, bye.
Let me ask you, Kill. You getting married?
I don't see it.
How many wives?
I don't see it either.
I don't see it.
I don't see it.
I mean, I already said that before.
That's sad. I don't like that.
And I would say this.
That breaks my heart.
Not legally. Not legally.
I'll change my last name.
I don't see myself doing it. I don't know.
Why?
It's just a construct that people have been doing for so long, so we feel like it's normal. But when you just really look at it and evaluate it, if you don't do it right, it's a stupid decision.
But do you guys want to become one? That's all it is. Instead of you being two different people, you are one family. You are the Jones family now.
I love the
you file one tax. Is just.
I love the idea. I just think we have a culture of individualism right now. Nobody don't want to be one with nobody. So until I find somebody that's
that's not true.
That's very true. Divorce rate is at like 70%. Marriage rates are going down.
Everybody's
I guess
selfish.
the money aspect of it, like once you get divorced and stuff, people be thinking about the stuff that they're gonna lose.
Exactly.
So that makes them not want to get married.
Yeah, it's a big
to
risk.
But you can't think of that when that's the one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not thinking of
A
that
lot
at
of people
all
think
if
it's
I
the
have
one.
a woman that's, you know,
a lot of
not
people think
selfish,
it's the one and still lose
but it's
everything.
hard to find that.
You can tell someone's level of self-hatred by how they view and most of you guys aren't ready for that conversation. Lily Phillips, the OnlyFans model who slept with 100 men in one day, was doing an interview where she had said originally she was going to save herself for marriage, but then she realized that sex wasn't special. I've heard this line from other people basically in defense for promiscuity. But if you are ready for the conversation, you would realize that it's not that sex is not special, it is that you are having sex with people who do not view you as being special and you are believing them. If you listen to any interview with Lily Phillips, you can feel her self-hatred bleed out through her words. And for the people that say, nope, not me, that's not how it was with me, I want you to think for a moment about what a belief is. Our beliefs come from the million bits of raw data that we get into this world, and we take them, we form opinions to make ourselves feel better. So when you say that's not me, sex isn't special to me, let's forget about the biological component where it is literally a soul tie between two people. And just ask, is that the truth, or is that the belief that you have taken on to reduce the levels of shame that you feel?
Here's the problem of being single in your 40s and a widow, in my defense. You have great fashion ideas, but then you have absolutely nobody to wear it. So I got all dressed up because I got this jumper from TikTok Shop. So I found out ways to dress it up and make it look cute. Now I want to go out. But now I also feel like this is an outfit for a 32-year-old. Right? Yeah. I don't know. This is adorable. This jumpsuit is from Poppy Lush. I can't remember who my boots are from, and then obviously Montclair. So, okay, bye.
I met this woman the other day, and she made me rethink everything about dating. She had 5 kids. I asked her how many baby daddies she had, and she told me it could be rude or offensive to ask a woman how many baby daddies she has. So a man is just supposed to accept you and 5 kids and not know the ratio of how many men fathered your children? This is what the dating scene is like. 5 kids, and I can't even ask how many men fathered those 5 kids. And then it turned out she only had 2 baby daddies, and neither one was in the picture.
There's a woman in the comments that said, I wouldn't ask this question on the first encounter. However, if y'all are getting to know each other, then that's a fair question. I would definitely ask this question on the first encounter. There wouldn't even be a first encounter if I found this out. To be honest with you, this is important information. If I don't know I don't want to date somebody with kids, then this is going to be a question that I ask off rip. I'm going to be looking. I'm going to be looking for the information. And if I find out on the date that you have kids and you didn't say nothing about it, you can give me all the excuses that you want. Anything. I'm getting up and I'm walking out. Period. End of story. Hey, can we have the check, please? And that's it. It's going to get real uncomfortable. Real uncomfortable. Hey, listen, if you need to leave, you can go ahead and leave. Because I'm about to pay the check and I'm going to leave. And I'm probably going to be on TikTok, but we're not going to do this. You need to be honest. You need to be honest. You don't have to tell all your business, where you stay and all that other stuff, but this is important information.
I'm curious how many people have roommates. And I'm not talking about people that are single that have a roommate. I'm talking about people that are married and that marriage has become a roommate situation. How many of you out there are married, but you aren't intimate with your partner anymore, but you stay married? You may not even be friends with them anymore, and you're not intimate. So it's like a true roommate situation. It's not even like we're best friends that don't hook up. But like, at what point did you lose intimacy in your relationship? Was it before you got married? Was it a year after you got married? Was it 5 years after you got married? Was it 30 years after? I'm really curious. I feel like generations now, They're normalizing like not needing to be intimate with the partner and like laughing it off. I think it's very weird. I think there should be something in a prenup that says like, if you're not getting it from me, then you should be able to get it from someone else, in my opinion. Being married, intimacy is a part of that, whether it's physical intimacy or emotional intimacy. If you're not being intimate with your partner, your husband, your wife, what are you doing? Why are you married? Just wanted a roommate to split the bills with, or to live off of and not even pay for any bills? I'm just so curious. Like, how many people are in this situation right now? And if you are, why do you stay? Why? That's not what you signed up for. I'm so curious. Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it.
This is what I've been spending my day doing today, y'all. Bought a broccoli machine, did fruit, cupcakes, a live screensaver, bought a company shirt with her name on it. You know what I'm saying? I spent all day doing this show. Spent hella money. Hella money. Put roses hanging from phones and shit. This is what I spent my day doing today. This is the plan. But, you know what I'm saying, shopping tonight, and yeah, this is a total waste for no reason. All because of some stupid shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, what was the point, bro? Like, but I can say with this, I at least tried everything in my power, you know what I'm saying? And it sucked that it turned out this way, but it did, so I'm gonna just clean this all up, and
My biggest problem with people in the dating world today is the fact that y'all really sit up there and fumble really good and kind-hearted people. People that are very rare in this world. This world and society has been built and so full of transactional relationships. It's like, you got to do for me before I could do for you type of thing. And a lot of people cannot be trusted at all. And let me just tell you something even more. Just because it look good don't mean the spirit is good, okay? That's a big fact. He or she can look immaculate, like the best looking thing working this earth, and they are literally kin to Lucifer. You understand? So when you have good, kind-hearted people that truly love you and respect you and just want to do right by you, and you feel like they're just disposable and that you could just find them anywhere out, you really are messing up. And I need people to really get right to your mind. Like, you really messing up good people and hurting good people just because you want to fulfill your flesh and your own personal desires.
All right, let's clock the money. This is the last video I'll be making about this goofy ass woman, so let's get started.
She did ask me, did your kids pick out the bed set? I said, I don't want you to buy it.
This is me sending Astrovino a text message. I was like, hey, don't forget to send me what the kids want for their beds. And she said, after what I said, I don't know if it's okay. So because after what you went online and you ruined it for your kids, I can't buy them a bed because you won't do it, you're sick. Something's wrong with you. She then goes on to talk about some sort of credit card fraud. And when she went to send me the video, sends me a screenshot of the video as if I can click on it and look at it, first of all. And second of all, what does credit card fraud have to do with me getting your kids' beds? Another thing she said was that I got paid $60,000 off of the podcast.
I got paid $60,000? Somebody actually told me that.
Okay, first of all, who told you that? Because that's crazy. I made way more. But that's none of your business. Yes, I did get paid. That's why you were on there. I paid for everything that you needed, like a hotel, you know, your flight, even sent you first class and the Ritz-Carlton. And you didn't ask for more payment. That is not my fault. That has nothing to do with me. What happened to your manager? Before you came on the podcast, you said that you were gonna have me sign something. You're just a mess. You are a literal mess. So yeah, no, I didn't pay you. I would have never paid you. And yes, I did make money off of it. Because that's what my job is. I don't just go on TikTok Live and start crying over gifters. And my favorite video that's been released to date.
That wasn't even so half of the girls in the Bob house. They weren't even that cute.
You want to talk about our looks, but ooh. I don't even need to keep going, right? And yeah, my last final thoughts on you. You're nuts, and you can also royally go yourself.
I mean, modern women just going at it. I mean, look at the pot calling the kettle black. Just both of y'all are doing stuff that y'all shouldn't be doing.
Deny this, but they're lying when they say they want peace. They love selfish, independent, unbothered women that are difficult and stress them out. Women that are too nice and predictable don't give them enough to worry about.
So do you guys think she has a man, or she's just like making these statements off like pure vibes? It's crazy how transparent people are. Because again, this is incel logic. This is whole girls don't like nice guys thing. But it's like, it never makes any sense to me, because it's like, you understand how rare it is for someone to be the person that you end up with forever, right? Like in dating, like that is rare. And it's like you being like this like nice girl, nice guy, like doesn't guarantee that, okay? And it's like people like see that that's not guaranteed, and then like they tweak out and think they have to go in the opposite direction. And the thing is, are there men who prefer stressful women the same way there are women who prefer stressful men? Absolutely. But the thing is, what quality of men and women do you think those are? Like, do you think those themselves are good partners? Like, what she's doing is she's signing a bunch of women up for a recipe to just like fight, like back and forth, like just the entire relationship. Like that's what she's saying that like everyone wants, but like sane people don't want that. Like, you know what I'm getting at?
Talk to favors. Here, one captain and coach. Don't worry. I'm not gonna rip you or anything. Look. All clear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man, you look like my ex. You're gorgeous. You look just like my ex.
Wow, thank you.
She cheated on me.
Wow, I'm sorry.
Whatever.
He's a good guy, man. He's a good guy.
So frustrating how a guy will reach out after like completely ghosting you or doing you wrong, but they just always know exactly what to say to get you to forgive them. They're like, hi. I'm such a sucker for hi. Like, how did you know?
If you would have told me at 28 that I would be chronically single, never dated, living in an RV with my cat, I would have been like, no way, I'm getting married at 22. I'm having 7 kids, each 2 years apart. Like, I had it all planned out, but crazy that God doesn't work on our schedule and our plan. This weekend, I was really just like processing that, wow, life didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it, at least so far. And I know I'm young, like I have so much life ahead of me, but I didn't plan to be here at this point. And I guess this is when all those verses I learned about as a kid about trusting God come into play, and I have to trust him. It's easier said than done. This weekend was not an easy weekend, but I'm trusting God that he has a plan, and his plan is better than what my plans were, and I know they are. And he sees me where I am, and he loves me, and he has a better plan for me, and he's holding me back from things that I think would be better because he loves me, because he knows what's best for me. And before you come at me like, oh my goodness, you should be grateful for what you have an incredible life. First of all, chill out. Second of all, I'm not perfect. Sue me. But I am truly grateful for the life that God has given me and the opportunities that I've been given because I'm single, and I wouldn't have if I was married. But it doesn't change the fact that sometimes I'm like, this is not the plan that I had for me. But God's plans are better. And I'm trusting that.
You've been cutting hair for 18 years. You see a lot of cheating?
Yes. I've had people tell me they are more loyal to me as a hairdresser than they are their husbands. So I had a client come in, and she was getting her hair blown out, and I asked her where she was going, and she said, out to dinner at such and such restaurant, which is at the other end of the shopping center I work in. So I happened to be going there also with a couple of my friends, and I see her out, and I introduced myself to the person she was with when I went over to say hello. They were kissing, hand on the thigh, and didn't think anything of it. Thought it was just her husband, because I knew she was married. I thought they were just having a little date night. She comes in a couple weeks later, another blowout. This time, a different gentleman comes in and hands her car keys. And I looked at her, I was like, "Oh, who was that?" She said, "That's my husband." So she was I walked in on a date, and it was not her husband she was on the date with.
Do you think most of the women whose hair you cut cheat on their husbands, or is it just like a select few?
I think there's a select few and a select type. I don't want to stereotype, but there is a definitely a type.
I really, at that point in time, thought she was going to say she had just got done getting her back blown out. I was like, whoa.
So let's see if I have a man or not. If you're judging me right now, don't judge me. Alexa, what time is it? It's 4:14 p.m. I've been working all day, so I've been like distracted. But let's go check the door, maybe, you know. I haven't heard from him at all still. I don't know why I'm playing this game with myself. It's looking kind of cruel, but you know, content. Nothing at all. You know, like, it's a busy day. Like, I got a lot of deliveries to make. I live in a busy city, you know, like. But regardless, even if he doesn't do it, I'm not going to get upset because it's like, I mean, I'm not going to talk to you anymore because my husband would never do that to me, you know? It's 8:11 p.m. I finished filming, doing my hair. Came out great. Purred. Still no word, no package. I've even started drinking some wine, you know. Self-care, self-love, all that. I mean, it's a Friday night, alone, again. But it's fine. I'm going to watch Severance, make some dinner, you know. It is what it is. Guys. Like, the only thing at my door is my Instacart, okay? Let's make some dinner. Guys, guess what? Alexa, stop. He told me to go check my mail. I literally can't contain myself. I knew God loved me. I knew he wasn't listening. He knows I'm sensitive, y'all. I can't. I'm gonna open it with him and then show y'all what he got me. Okay? Alright. Wish this was you, huh? He got me the little forever roses. I remember telling him I liked pink roses because I'm not a fan of the red ones. I feel like they're too typical. I like pink roses. And then the other package is just this like spa set of like stuff because like I'm on my period and stuff. I've been complaining about how like I need just like a spa, and he was like, hopefully he uses this stuff to make yourself feel better. It's like a little at-home spa experience. And the stuff actually smells like really good, y'all. It's like really thoughtful and sweet. I don't know, cute. It's just cute when like men just do cute stuff, you know?
You know, honestly, at this point, these modern women are putting America's Funniest Home Videos out of business. This is comedy. Like, embarrassing themselves. You don't even have to submit your clips. You can just grab a random TikTok of a modern woman embarrassing themselves.
The only thing you're ever going to agree on in a situationship is that you both do not like you enough.
If you're a woman in 2025 and you have a man, keep your man. Keep your man. Don't let him go. Because the whole process of getting to know another man and trying to be in a relationship with another man is up out here right now. Keep your man. If y'all in love, if you love him, he's a bum. Long as he ain't doing you and the kids doing no crazy shit, keep your man. If he's a bum, I'm pretty sure he's good at something. Just appreciate that he helps out around the house and he cleans up, and just having a man in your house.
She reminds me of Tracy Morgan. No lie.
This is going to trigger some of you, but not every man who breaks up with a woman, even if he blindsides her, is emotionally a narcissist. And to set that precedent is not only dangerous for men, but it is dangerous for women too. You are potentially destroying a man's personal and professional reputation, and also invalidating the experiences of women who actually are dealing with narcissists and emotional women. We need to stop these terms and overusing them, because then they start to lose significance and meaning. I got quite a few comments like this on my video, and then when I was watching the premiere of Call Her Daddy last night, live chat was completely filled with women saying that he's a narcissist, like almost every 5 comments. Now, all these chicks on the internet are literally trying to destroy this man's life. I don't think Matt James is emotionally, I don't think that he's even a narcissist. I think he is a weak man who really cares about public opinion. I think he loved her. I don't think he was in love with her anymore. And I think he was feeling the pressure of the 4-year timeline, which he should. 4 years is a long time. A weak man hangs a woman out to dry and lets the public scrutinize her for being a racist, even when he knows that she's not, as she confirmed on the episode yesterday. Weak man who loves someone, but feels a lot of public pressure because he has a public relationship to marry her, almost convinces himself to do it. I think he was actually very close to proposing to her, even though he did not feel ready because of public opinion. I think he felt this public pressure. They've been together so long, like obviously the next step would be an engagement, which she clearly wants, which is why I think he was almost saying it out loud in interviews and stuff to try to convince himself that he was ready. And everyone trying to run with this clickbait headline that, oh, he only broke up with her because she cried about picking a bad restaurant, like that's not it. I think there is very obviously some issues in this relationship for a while because of both of them. But I think that was the final straw for him where he's like, okay, I am not marrying her, like now is the time. Now I think him posting this was absolutely insane, but I think he posted it for one of 2 reasons. Either because 1, he was nervous that they were gonna get back together if he didn't do something public that was like so definite, or 2, because he cares so much about public opinion, he had to get it out there, especially with it being a public relationship. And while this was bizarre, I don't think she would have been invited on Call Her Daddy if this hadn't happened. And I know some of you are mad at me for my last video, but I stand by what I said. I don't feel bad that she was broken up with. I mean, homegirl's out here doing breakup PR. We gotta talk about it. I don't feel bad for her because he was very obviously a weak man and showed her time after time over the years how weak of a man he was. And there comes a point where like you have to take some accountability and ownership with what you're willing to deal with. But honestly, he did her a favor because I don't think she ever would have left him. This feels like the most over-dramatized standard breakup for a long relationship, which I guess is in true Bachelor fashion. But this is not the scandal of 2025 that everyone is trying to turn it into. But I'm analyzing it because I think there's a lot of young women out there who need to take notes about the situation. And my analysis is based off of what she shared because at the end of the day, none of us were in that relationship, so we really do not know what happened. I'm going based off the information she has given. And while we love the drama, which is why we watch these reality TV shows to begin with, not every breakup has a villain and a victim.
Yep, she sat up there on that show crying crocodile tears. This is what, I'm glad she said that. This is what women do. They sit up there, they go on these PR tours. That's where they get the bulk, the majority of their popularity from. Okay, well, let me say this. They get the bulk of the majority of the popularity from whatever show they're on, right? Now, if you're a regular person, then you're going to get the bulk of it from your story. I think there was some woman on here that was talking bad about her ex, and that's how she got famous, and then she got rich off of it. So essentially, what you're doing is telling stories, and you're dumping on people, and you're getting rich off of it. Basically, Taylor Swift. In so many words, Taylor Swift. These women are turning into less talented Taylor Swifts. And then they're just making their life one big story. Not unique, just a lot of delusional women agreeing.
I can't be friends with heterosexual men. Most of the time, I find it extremely hard. And one of the reasons is that without knowing, men are enabling, a lot of heterosexual men are enabling the objectification of women. Like in movies, or in music videos, or in song lyrics, where every other lyric is about men singing about women's bodies and what they want to do to those bodies. And it's only about that. As a woman, you're not viewed as a person with personality and quirks. First and foremost, you're just this. You're just a body and a face and maybe a status symbol or a symbol of wealth. Men don't think it's weird when there's a really graphic rape scene in a movie, which I think it's so weird that nearly every movie has to have a scene like that. Almost like it's a secret fantasy for most men, and it's also normalizing it and blurring the lines, and I'm very concerned with how normal it's become and how just okay it is. How young boys are idolizing these famous people or singers and rappers who in their music videos are laying there with money and a bunch of women. Because why would love be glamorized when there's lust? I don't understand when being romantic and loving became an unmanly thing, because I'm barely seeing it anymore, and that's just very concerning to me. I'm very concerned because men are getting more violent with their partners again. There's more SA happening. These things are on the rise. And I think especially today, it's so clear to see that men don't care about women. Most men, most heterosexual, they just care about the image that these women can create for them and their bodies, quite honestly. And I cannot wrap my head around the fact that, like, this is so normalized. Like, in every single song, in every movie, in every music, everywhere, in ads, and like everywhere. And it personally makes me uncomfortable. I don't like listening to music where I'm being referred to, because I'm a woman, I'm being referred to as, it just makes me uncomfortable. And I think everyone who doesn't speak up about this is enabling it. Which is, I would say, 98% of heterosexual men. And that's why I find it hard to be friends with them, because they just don't understand that part of my existence. As a woman, I have to fight for respect, I have to earn respect. I'm not just respected because I'm a woman and I exist. But as a man, everywhere you go, you are respected by both men and women. A woman's body is supposed to be so accessible. You can buy, men, you can buy a woman's body in a man's head. That is an okay thing to do. And I also think that it blurs the lines. Women are not people anymore. Women are just things on screens to watch, to get off to like, by other women I'm viewed as a person. By most men I'm not viewed as a person, and that's why I find it so hard to be around men.
So you don't think that this right here might be contributing to any of that? What about this? You don't think this might be helping contribute to objectification? Not at all. What about this? You don't think that this might help contribute to objectification as well of women and all that other stuff you were talking about? What about this? You don't think this might have anything to do with it? I mean, I could keep going, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm just looking at your whole get up. You have to really start studying her face to see how women play these games. This is seduction. Oh, well, I didn't want no men looking at me and and this and that. Your makeup says otherwise. I mean, obviously we can go for the clothes. That's the easiest thing. But your energy, your spirit says that you're trying to be seductive, which most modern women do. They want to be seductive without the consequences of seduction, assuming that it's not a man that she's attracted to. They don't want that attention, right? So I don't want the consequences of looking like I look. Now, if it's a man that I like, well, then you know the deal. So I don't want to hear none of this men objectifying women stuff.
I really hate that y'all be feeling like this, because I'm in a Are We Dating the Same Guy group, which is mostly Hispanic women and Caucasian women. And baby, they be getting their ass drugged. Do you hear me? So if that's gonna happen to me, it's gonna be by a black man. You think I'm gonna let Conor drag me, please?
And if you want your house clean, hire me a maid. I'm not a slave.
No. I agree. I'll hire the maid and I'll marry the maid. I'll marry the maid.
As a man, it is your responsibility, regardless of whether she worked, to take care of her.
But let me give you an example, okay? If you have average Abdullah, he's working 40 hours a week. As his wife, her name's Bushra, basic Bushra. She's also working 40 hours a week. Both of them are coming home after a 40-hour work week, tired. Just as tired as each other. But my 40 hours is paying for everything in the house. And your 40 hours is going on your Mac foundation. Do you understand? Furthermore, if my 40 hours that I work per week covers everything in the household, okay, and you want to work, not only will I not be involved in the household chores, I will expect you to contribute towards the household bills.
A man will want you so bad in the beginning, like so bad, right? And you give him a little bit of, you give him a little bit of grace, you give him a little bit of attention. You start liking them back just a little bit, and they're like, "Oops, psych, never liked you." Hold on, because I didn't want you in the beginning. I didn't want you. I gave you a little bit of attention because you were persistent. You were persistent. You wouldn't stop. You was on my nuts bad. You was on my like gobbling my shit, right? I gave you a little bit of attention. Now you like, oh, please, you. How did we forget where we came from? Did we forget where this shit started at? Stop playing with me. Because when I say, I'm not gonna say it, they're gonna take my TikTok down. But I will blow you to smithereens. I'm telling you, bitch.
I love how guys handle their emotions because they don't. They just don't really process them. They kind of are very like push away, push down. I think guys having a crush on someone is best described as a dad when they come home with a new puppy. Like the family's like, oh my God, we got this dog. And the dad's like, oh my God, ew, we can't have a dog. Like now I have to clean up after it. And like, what is it going to do in the house? I don't even like dogs. Like it's furry and gross. And they're like, okay, whatever. He like pretends to dislike the dog, but then secretly over time, he freaking loves that dog. The dog is his favorite person in the house. The dog loves the dad and they're like snuggling and they're always together. And you're like, wait, I thought dad hated the dog. Why are they making out? Like that is what it is. That's kind of guys when they have a crush. You're like, oh my God, this is crazy. She's obsessed with me. She wants me so bad. Did she text though or no? You know, like they love it. They love it. But they're not really want to say it because they just like don't know how to, or like maybe that's like too much for them, you know? Or at least that's what I'm telling myself because I'm the dog.
A dude in the comments said the problem in this philosophy is that dogs are loyal. Do with that information what you will.
Oh my goodness. What the
Is she upset?